Now they just need to refine it by making sure that they can give themselves strong team fighting. And Weibo need to limit Razork's impact. So they need to find ways to mitigate what he can do in the early game. And the way in which Fnatic is trying to do that is through either having a winning jungle matchup in the form of Lee Sin into Maokai, or by having a pushing bot lane 2 versus 2. So, with all that in mind, what will the first pick be? My speculation is Fnatic will still continue to prioritize things like the Orianna. I imagine Weibo will actually let that through in exchange for something like the Renata Maokai once again. The question then becomes, how will Fnatic deal with it? Or will they just... so there it is. There's the adaptation. The Renata is being banned away and not the Maokai.
Or the Kalista, which is what Fnatic banned the first time they were on the
But I don't think Fnatic care about it.
I agree. I'm just, compared to game 1,
that
is the change, right? The Jarvan, Maokai, Xayah were Weibo's bans in game 1. Instead, the Orianna, now they're locked away. So where do Fnatic go first? Is it just Aphelios?
I mean, I would like that. I think it's a good first pick, personally. And they're going to do it. All right, so they've said, you know what, Noah, you're so far at this tournament, this has been your best champion. You talked about some stats earlier from his Aphelios. How many games has he lost this year on the champion?
Well, he's now played 17 games and lost 4.
He's only lost 4 games. So.
And I will say, Noah, something we saw in the LEC playoffs was he does get quite nervous, or at least he did then, before games, and he'd talk about it on Twitter afterwards, giving him something he has been comfortable on at Worlds, and he has experience on, can alleviate some of those nerves.
Now you open up Xiaohu's Azia.
Yep.
So you've taken a gamble. You've taken a pretty big gamble, because while a lot of your priority has been limiting the impact of mid lane, it is now being given back to him. Yep. One of his best performing champions. It's a scary thing to go up against. Already this team fight power of Weibo is looking strong. Are they really gonna... I mean, I do quite like Silas into what they're showing. It also kind of pushes the idea of an Alistar as well.
Alistar, yeah, 100% agree with that. And now that is where Humanoid is going. He has had some pop-off performances on the Silas throughout his career. Is it enough for game 3? Humanoid
and just lock in.
I was Sejuani, yeah.
Locked it in before I could speculate. I was like, yeah, just you do great champion with melee champions, the Sejuani. But yeah, does make sense. Go back to what works for you in game 1. So now, I don't think you match. I think you can lock in top here if you want. You can grab yourself something like the Cassante. You can then actually, well, you have 2 choices. You can actually limit the top pool, but I don't think that matters. I think that if you're Weibo, you should consider pinching the support.
It's a toughie. It's a toughie because Trimby is so comfortable on so many different supports. We haven't seen much Rakan priority at all.
Well, I think Weibo is going to counterpick support regardless. So if you're going to counterpick, why would you limit the support pool?
True.
Unless there were things that you really don't want to have to deal with, or you really don't want paired up alongside an Aphelios. Something like Emilio wouldn't surprise me. The Nautilus is something that they've consistently banned throughout the series, so they're going to keep that ban going up.
I mean, Nautilus Sejuani also very strong if you can get early skirmishes. You have multiple different routes, you have multiple different forms of CC. It can be very tricky for people to get away from that.
I wonder if they're worried about Oscar's Jax, or if they're saying, we have the Shy. Yeah. Is it a situation where you sit there and go, matchup-wise, Jax could be a problem and something that we're a little bit worried about?
I mean, it's possible, but as you say, it is the Shy. Although his game 1 was a little disappointing from his fans' point of view, his game 2 was absolutely exceptional. He does have a lot of games on Cassante as well, his 6th most played throughout the course of his career. Oscar on Jax is something we've seen him bring out a few times, but not something I would say he dominates on too regularly. The Poppy, the ban for Weibo.
I feel like this might be a Zeri pick.
Yeah.
For Weibo, I mean, the Poppy, that respect is being shown to Oscar. He demonstrated it's been, okay, they're taking away the Jinx, but I think the Zeri is a bigger threat for Light.
2nd most played this summer.
I wouldn't love a Kai'Sa here from Weibo. I think that it's too short range and it goes in. Caitlyn is another great one. Caitlyn, Zeri, long range, strong team fighting, good zone control. The traps combined with the soldiers, combined with the Maokai. A lot of space being generated, and also still gives you a powerful 2v2 bot lane.
Also gives you the push often in the bottom lane. The enemy can't step up. Does depend what support you...
Yeah, the supports are going to be really important here. With Morlus taken away, what are you thinking of? Because Melio looks great right now for Weibo.
Okay.
Oscar's Olaf. Do you remember the last time he played it? Because No shot. Nah, no way. There's no way Fnatic is going to do that. He's hovering it. He's thinking about it, but surely not. I think it's way too ambitious against the Caitlyn.
Oscar brought out the Olaf against Heretics in LEC Summer. Did it in groups in spring as well. Has won every game he's played on it this year. I will say, played against Mad Lions, the strongest, and Heretics. The Shy, slightly stronger competition.
True.
And Lux Caitlyn gives you so much push in the bottom lane.
I liked everything else more than the Alistair.
Saying Hilly and Mickey have set the expectation. Okay?
I mean, that is a terrifying bot lane. Caitlyn Lux. It's something that Europe has never been good at.
Yeah.
And
good at playing against as well.
They come to international competition and they get bullied. Don't get me wrong, if that bot lane loses a flash, then it's a lane that you can easily play around, but
they have to absorb a lot of pressure.
That's going to be so hard. And so Weibo, what I think would be smart for them is that the late invade bot side and try and split the map.
Yeah.
Like completely isolate Noah and Trimby and mitigate Razork's impact on the bot side of the map. Even if the Shy gets bullied, even if he goes 0-4, the question then becomes, do you think that an Olaf is strong enough to 1v9 the game? And could they even get Oscar in ahead enough that he could even do that?
And what a weight on Oscar's shoulders that would be as well in his first Worlds, his first international.
So I like the adaptations that Weibo have made. I think that they've got a really good long-range composition. They feel like that it's going to come down to the team fights once again. Their front-to-back, again, is very strong. They've got so much zone control. And while Razork has had some great early games, he's going to have to find a way to unlock this bot lane for Fnatic. A lot of responsibility falls on Razork, as it has this series. We're jumping into Game 3.
One more time into the breach, my friends. Weibo and Fnatic fighting for a spot in the top 8 at the World Championships. On to Summoners Rift we go. And I can hear the heartbeats in Europe from here, Betty. No one under 150. Fnatic pushing out, guarding that bottom side of the map. Sometimes we see an Olaf look for an early invade as well. The undertow can do so much for you. I think Fnatic expecting the bot side invade are setting up. Now they dash forward. Everyone was ready to collapse, but no one there from Weibo. And just set up their lines of scrimmage. The Shy will walk in, place a ward. There's one in Pixel Bush as well from Weiwei. Razork's early pathing here will be tracked. If Oscar does look to invade, he'll be marked as well. Looks like Razork might be going forward. Seeing maybe if they want that ward, maybe also they just want to make sure that Weibo weren't looking for something sneaky on the top side.
There's still, before the storm to come, one of these teams will end their year. The other will move on to the quarterfinals. It's been a while since Europe has seen Fnatic in those quarters. Top Esports was their last best of 5, and they were so close to victory.
Started with success, Betty.
And Weibo, I mean, formerly Suning, of course, world finalists. A very different roster then to what we have now. But Weibo making it to the international stage and wanting to do LPL proud. All 4 seeds still in the tournament for the LPL. If all 4 were to qualify, I'm pretty sure this would be the first time ever in LPL's history that they got all 4 out into the quarters.
Often there is that one sacrifice.
There's always the one. Oh, and already the damage is being dealt. Like, what can Alistair do in this lane, man? It is absolute misery. They signed up for this. And now look at the zone that's going to come out from Chris. The harassment continues. Pushing lane top, pushing lane bot. Top side clear from Razork.
Look to trade in the mid lane. Look at Shadow low. No ignite on the side as though expecting that they're going to TP, so just trading forward on his bot lane, struggling to even step forward in the lane. Oscar in here, pushed under the tower by the Shy early on.
Now, this Olaf will be difficult to deal with late into the game. Like, no one can stop it. That's the whole point of his ultimate. If he gets strong enough, he can just deal with a Caitlyn. Absolutely zero problem. And there's nothing that a Lux can do to protect that, right? Zero utility. Unless they're able to land that binding. And again, in small life, that won't be a problem. But in this laning phase, it's just It's relentless. Just look at the poke. They're already going to get themselves a plate.
You see Trimby running the DMAT as well, knowing they're always going to be pushed in. Doesn't want to have to step forward for those cannon minions, so just DMAT tries to get Cryo back. They're never going to manage it, but every small inch you can take back in a lane where the enemy's taking miles is always a bonus. Light and Crisp, though, doing exactly what the Doctor ordered for Weibo. Getting bot Cryo has been so important through the series, and it allows Weiwei just that extra bit of safety as Razork spots him out with the Scryer's Bloom. Oscar trading with the Shy. Shy has, and Tofu strikes, can knock back Oscar here, holding it. Knock up just wide as Oscar puts on his dancing shoes for a second.
Oh, he misses the bring back. He's trying to bring him underneath the tower. Oscar gets a nice trade.
That's Q3 again. Oscar needs to be careful.
Low on mana there. But both top laners just skirting on the edge. The Shy trying to set up a bit of a freeze. And bottom crab secured for Razor. He's getting a bit of information. He'll find the respawn of the Raptors and he should be able to steal those away. So great awareness there from him.
It's also, Weiwei decided to shadow Crisp and Light to make sure they weren't getting ganked. So he was in the bot side bush, allowing Razor that little bit of extra time. The Light binding into Lucent Singularity, once again finding Noah and Trimby. Crisp running a little bit lower on mana, but I believe he pops a biscuit and he'll be okay.
Credit to Humanoid, he's also winning in this 1v1 matchup. I guess the Hail of Blade's not coming out from his... Oh my god, look at it, it's just...
If you step forward, you get light binding, you then get trapped and you're done for. So Noah has to step back through the Lucent Singularity there. It's going to be two plates as well. They know Razork was on the top side of the map a little while ago. No vision on him now, but Light and Crisp have the safety of a Tri-Bush ward. They have the safety of Xiaohu moving forward to ward around the Razorbeaks as well. And they are safe as houses down here with a 13 CS lead already.
Like, you can see how difficult it is for Noah to even hit the bottom CS because Light is standing on top of them, and if you try to get in range to alter them, they're just going to harass you back. It's such an oppressive bot lane 2 versus 2, and already, what's that, 600, 700 gold lead being built up for Weibo just off the back of these plates in the bottom lane, and the constant harassment. Relatively healthy for Noah, but he's going to need to go back to base soon, and that base is going to be the hardest thing to get. You can see once again Weiwei hovering around the bot side of the map.
Oscar trading. Half-maker from the Shy, looking for the Q3, gets the knock-up shield from Oscar. Will keep him okay for the moment. Razork spotted on a ward. Weiwei not the same as he's managed to sneak his way in towards this bottom side. It's always the point of weakness for a Caitlyn Lux lane is after you've pushed this initial pressure, getting ganked on the 5, 6, 7 minute timer, which is why Weiwei is so often shadowing them, even to the detriment of his own jungle clear. But Crisp and Light have done a really good job of cycling through their vision. This Tri-Bush always warded, like a 5-second gap between the vision that they have kept themselves, allowing them so much more safety. Because Trimby can always look for the taxi, headbutt a minion, flash Q, or Q flash.
Just really good vision overall from Weibo, keeping track of where Razork is, what he's up to. Yeah, he's built up a pretty big advantage jungle camp-wise, but frankly, it doesn't matter. Weibo knows that as long as they keep this Caitlyn healthy, they are chilling. The tower siege, the team fight threat they're going to have the longer this game goes on. And again, that's not to say that Fnatic don't have options in the team fights. We talked about this Olaf. This Aphelios can still be a threat. It's just about how strong you can get there. And right now, this bot lane is struggling for Fnatic.
This world's so often defined by which AD carry is stronger in a fight as well. We have seen so many times fights turned on their heads, even Noah turning a fight on his head with a Moonlight Vigil Cataclysm combination against C9. Saw it in game 1, saw it in game 2. Oscar scaling up though. Couldn't be spotted on a ward, and the vision control from Weibo has actually been exceptional. Pull back, Ragnarok used it, but Oscar can't follow that any further. Was worried about the all-out combo. Glacial Prison used in the mid lane as Xiaohu is caught out, but he gets the knockback under the tower. Humanoid flashes away, Xiaohu with the shield, and Humanoid tanking the tower will fall! Xiaohu outplays the 2v1 in mid.
Xiaohu's Azir, he responds perfectly, throws the ultimate out. Humanoid takes a second, he double backs, thinking that he can get one last tick of damage in, but he can't, and he pays the price.
And you can see the damage that comes out if you're hit with a light binding into the snap trap. That's another plate going down as well as Noah tries to step forward. Good graviton for the root, but the Piltover Peacemaker comes out, and I don't think Light and Crisp have any mind to peace. They want war in this bottom lane, and Weiwei is here to facilitate it. Instead, he'll take the red, seal away the camps as the Rift Herald is being secured, but Light now with the ace in the hole, and ace in his pocket. There's the flash combo we talked about. The taxi flashed away by Light. Incredible reactions. Graviton gonna come down on Crisp, but Humanoid is trying to make his way down here as well. Flash is burnt from Light and Crisp, but they will be able to dance their way to safety. Ace in the hole, tanked by Trimby, down to 100 HP. Dancing on the edge of death, the brink of the abyss. Able to survive, and now does have that unbreakable will as well, but what an unbreakable spirit Fnatic will need to survive this bot lane barrage.
This tower's going to take so much
He's
damage.
dead!
Oh, and they snipe him. Trimby can't pop the ultimate in time. Crisp finds it. And look at how quickly this game feels like it's falling apart for Fnatic. Razork is not finding anything on the map right now. This tower is falling apart in the bot lane. Zhao, who gained so much off of that roam from Humanoid as well. Weibo are poised to end this series in convincing fashion.
And this is how you play an early game lead. Light and Crisp so far ahead, almost double CS in that bottom lane, and Noah and Trimby an expected deficit, but they have been found wanting. Can Razork find something? Or Trimby, in fact, find something in the mid lane? Xiao, who kept his flash through the dive underneath the tower earlier on, so he has that to survive any further aggression. A 2,000 gold lead now for Weibo.
And the Merc Tread's picked up for Zhao, who means that that risk is so much lower of him getting ganked. And again, you see this jungle discrepancy, but it doesn't matter. So much vision has been invested early by Weibo to keep track of what was going on, where Razork was.
So Razork did walk over a ward as he came across.
But he tried to make it fast, like it didn't matter. Look at this hesitation. Humanoid like double backs. And if he kept walking, there's a good chance he makes it out. Now who's in danger here? It's Crisp.
Has been caught out, has no flash, remember, but Weiwei is on his Weiwei as Razork tried to flash, but Crisp puts on an absolute clinic. He dances away from death. The final spark, a final dagger through the heart of Fnatic, perhaps, as Trimby now in the meat grinder, but Noah's on his way. The Moonlight Vigil comes up short as Weiwei able to dance away as well. Weibo get out, they lose one, but it's a 1-for-1 trade.
Weibo, I mean, that's not a bad trade for them. Yes, they lost Crisp, but I mean, it was actually Crisp that ended up getting the kill. I guess depending on your perspective, could be a good thing. He is building AP.
Yep.
Weibo hold on to the gold lead for now. Well, looking back at the snipe that happened. Oh, well, we're going back quite a ways now. Trimby not even level 6 yet. And the snipe that comes through. If Trimby had popped the ultimate, maybe he would have had enough resistance to survive. Oh, actually, I think he tried to pop it
right
there.
at the end,
but the animation not quite fast enough.
Yeah, you can see him pressing the R there.
He's frustrated. This game is falling apart very quickly for Fnatic. The TP comes in from Humanoid. He's trying his best to work with Razork to look for something. The chain CC, but Weiwei and Zhao quick to collapse themselves. Weiwei roots up Humanoid, prevents him from getting anywhere near him. The Humanoid ultimate stolen. Crisp gets that kill. And Weibo is then forced to retreat, seeing that Noah gets to the fight earlier. The ultimate from Noah not quite in range, means that they don't have the damage. The game state doesn't really change here. The damage continues to come through from Weibo's bot lane, 111 CS. Chip, chip, chip. Cannon will be secured there by Noah. And Razork just doing his best to cover, resisting the potential dive.
But still, the vision control from Weibo allows them the luxury to step up this far in the lane. You can see Oscar starting to win some trades against the Shy, but you don't really want to dive. The Ragnarok can be extended a little bit, but as it expires, you don't want to be in danger of being pulled back underneath that tower. Xiaohu extending his lead in mid lane as well, 20 CS up. The Shy has flash.
So that's ult. He has the damage to get the kill here. No TP for Oscar with his back being interrupted. The Shy rather can push that underneath the tower. Hell being spawned mid. Not optimal here. Weibo should be able to stop this. They're going to.
Razork coming in, but he's going to get locked up, and Weiwei can look for more. Instead, decides to go for the tower. Humanoid shuffles him back, and the tree is going Timber in the mid lane as Fnatic able to find one, get their second on the board. The Rift-Held Eye is open though, and Weibo can still look to deny the charge. Recent Singularity doing a little bit of work. Trimby trying to push this forward. Humanoid locked up. Trimby going in. Xiaohu no flash, but the shuffle back as Humanoid tanks and Humanoid falls. And the damage now lacking for Fnatic. They'll get the charge in, but is that enough for them as Trimby continues to trade? But Xiaohu has had enough of this. Get the hell out of his mid lane. He finds two. Finds another in the bottom lane. It's 3 for Weibo in mid.
Fnatic are collapsing everywhere. 4 kills quickly picked up for Weibo. And Xiaohu's Azir, something that has been kept away from him this series, finally returns to his hands. And he finds himself with a 3-0-2 scoreline. The bot lane tower, 600 gold for Light. Fnatic are crumbling under the pressure of Weibo.
And the darkness starts to encroach for Fnatic. What can you do from here? 4,500 gold behind. Your towers now falling. They will fall quicker as the plates.
Kasi binigay nyo. Ayan.
Of just plates. But
Dapat
everywhere
bilan
on
nyo
the
kasi.
map, Weibo are ahead. The only saving grace is top lane is even. That's about it. And Razok has 1,000 gold lead. But when you look at that lane economy snapshot from MasterCard, the bot side of the map is a disaster zone for Fnatic and delight for Weibo.
I mean, it's a 2-level lead. Humanoid's about to get level 10, but the experience difference in mid is massive, and now Light is unlocked on the map. He can start just taking these towers completely uncontested. They chose this bot lane matchup with the Alistar. They knew they were playing into Caitlyn, and I thought that they would have answers, but they had nothing. Weibo have just oppressed them from start to finish, and whatever they tried to do to Xiaohu, they just could not lock him down. Now the Herald has begun. Oscarinin and the Shy maybe getting involved in the fight.
TP coming in as well from Humanoid as he looks to join the fight. Xiaohu TPing in as well as the objective is secured. The Rift-Held taken down. Humanoid was looking for Crispy, he can't quite get in. Weiwei flashing away as the Ragnarok tries to get to the backline, and Weiwei falls to Olaf. The Shy pulls Noah back, but now he's separated from the rest of the team. Olaf gets 2! A shutdown for Oscar! And the ace in the hole! Flashed away as Noah heals up with a Severum. Trimby now is going to get the knock up on the Shy. What a fight! What a moment, a brief glimpse of light perhaps at the end of a dark, dark tunnel for Fnatic.
I mean, it's 3 kills and a Herald. Oscarinin proving how this Olaf can be a threat in the fights. The CC is not enough to keep him chained down. We're going to look back at this kill in the bot lane. Oh, the headshot into the crit, into the kill. Nicely done there by Light. But looking back at this fight, look at the positioning of Oscarinin. You see him skirmishing with the Shy at the top. Weiwei's going to be forced out of the fight very quickly. Humanoid going to steal away the Maokai ultimate. No. Yes, he does. He steals away the ultimate. Comes through.
Humanoid now caught though.
Yeah, he's dead.
Headshots from Light. Taking heads, taking names.
They can't afford to make those mistakes. That was a massive play that they found. I believe the Herald was dropped top, so they did get a bit of gold back. The deficit not quite as dramatic as earlier.
It's still 2,500.
It's still 2,500.
Weibo still very much in control of this game. A momentum swing, but not a momentum shift over these last few moments. Xiaohu now, Nash's 2 complete, almost at his second item. In an incredibly powerful position, and towers basically forfeit when you're against an Azir Caitlyn in this sort of power in the mid game. Razok trying to come in from the side here, but Weiwei and Crisp are here to defend their mid laner. I think Xiaohu, after a disappointing performance against Mad Lions in game 1, a disappointing performance in this game as well, has once again shown why so often he is amongst the best on the world stage.
Look back at this fight once more. Nice stuff there from Oscarinin, getting access onto the backline. And the fact that he trades is that shield comes back, the sustain as well.
Honeyfruit as well.
That's the terrifying thing about this Olaf. If he gets strong enough, he can do a nice flash there from Noah. That could have gone very wrong, but he does get away with his life. But Fnatic showing that their teeth are still sharp. They're not completely down and out yet. Light, though, continues to be a nuisance for Fnatic.
It's kind of why it was nerfed on the current patch. your ability just to fire an ace in the hole. Relatively short cooldown means the enemy AD carry or any enemy squishy is half HP before the fight really begins. And Light using it to full effectiveness here. Weibo gaining control of the bottom side of the map with a minute on the Drake. It would be their third sole point. You wonder if Fnatic will decide to fight over a Chemtech Drake. Often left as one of the less impactful Drakes, but when fights are close, when you have an Olaf as well, if you can get that Chem Soul, it can be very powerful in the right hands. Cassante as well uses it to full effectiveness.
Weibo doing a good job of controlling this bot side of the map vision, just using crisps and Weiwei's kit to check all of these brushes, make sure that they're safe, forces Fnatic out of any potential picks. Anyone that, well, knows League of Legends, knows of the Fnatic brush. You think it's one, but it's all of them. They'll do it anywhere. But not today. Weibo will deny that. Dragon spawn 24 seconds. And you imagine that this one will be largely uncontested. That tower won't fall. Okay. Second item, the third one being worked on for Light. 2 items completed for Xiaohu. The power spikes are just there for Weibo and Fnatic. If they want to fight now, it would be pretty insane. But it seems unlikely with the power that Weibo is currently sitting on. Weibo want this dragon, they want this fight, they have TPs on the Shy. Same for Humanoids. But this chip damage as well that's going to keep coming out from Chris.
Shy looking for Humanoid as well.
Look at how tanky
Although
he is.
Oscar probably wins that matchup, I'm not sure if Humanoid does, sitting on only the Leandries. And a couple of components. TP now in by the Shy. Fnatic trying to get the mid priority so they can then work around. Still vision behind them, they were unable to clear that all out, and now with the Shy as a frontman leading the Phalanx. Weibo have to look to see if they can catch out Fnatic. Fnatic do get mid prior for the moment, but the Shy waiting in this bush will be able to deny them more. Final spark takes Trimby down to half. He still has that unbreakable will. Razork looking for someone. Xiaohu, the target. Glacial Prism hits, and they all flash forward, but Xiaohu flashes away, and the Light Binding finds 2. Nature Scars coming out from either side as they try to get onto the backline. The Ragnarok is not enough. There's Weiwei. Kills off Oscar in, and Light able to flash away towards the top side as well, and now it's all on Noah, but he's pulled back with the all out, and Weibo are all in. They find 2. Razork running for the hills as Humanoid dives forward, but Chris still survives. Xiaohu down 3 for naught in favor of Weibo, almost 4 as Noah tries to step in, make it 4, make it more as Weibo turn their eyes to Baron.
Everyone walks away alive, blinking health bars, but it is enough. The snipe from Crisp will not find Razork, and Fnatic are left with little. Light came so close to death, but he flashes away. Xiaohu the same. Those summoners providing all that they need. You see the initial health bars. The engage looks promising for Fnatic. A very quick response from Xiaohu gets him to safety. The return engage from Humanoid, but it's Oscar in alone. The peel is good enough. Light flashes away on the side, and then with everyone now safe, they can play the front to back. They can play the chase down. The Shy locking up Noah, getting his summoner spells.
So much as well.
Just a fantastic fight all across the board from Weibo.
Crisp hit every binding in that. When Fnatic engaged, he finds 2. When Light's running away, he finds Trimby to stop him getting the chase down. And Weibo just play the fight perfectly.
It feels like the final nail in the coffin for Fnatic. These fights, if they had a little more gold, maybe they could have swung differently. You could see how close the damage was, but those spikes were different. Maybe Fnatic should have waited a little longer. But that's all hindsight now. Level 14, Caitlyn knocking on the doors of Fnatic's base.
With the Baron buff remaining, this Red Bull Baron power play continues for the next 2 minutes, and Fnatic, do you just give up the inhib? They'll mount a defense, but with Humanoid in top, you have to feel the defense won't last for long. The final spark again. The final light extinguished from Fnatic. Noah forced back to base. Their inhibitor tower brought to its knees. The team brought to its knees in the face of Weibo. The Shy finds Trimby again, and Weibo continue to find their man. Trimby locked up, has to pop the unbreakable will. Oscar in trying to defend at the Nexus towers here as Humanoid is going to stop his base. They are giving up double inhibitors, but will they give it all? Weibo continues to push in. The cannon minion there as the Shy can tank, but the cannon minion won't get in range. Humanoid still looking for that objective bounty. A bounty, albeit small, might be
I don't know.
something for Fnatic, and I agree, Betty. I don't know if they can hold. The Glacial Prison finds Chris, but he's able to survive. The Ragnarok comes out. The Moonlight Vigil does nothing as Weibo continue to advance, and now perhaps they take a moment, they retreat, but Light says no. He steps back forward, has that red for the slow, and the Nexus towers begin to be brought to the ground. The engage from Razork, Noah trying to do what he can as Shy is forced down towards the bottom side. Trenby down as he looks for an engage. The Shy goes all out, and Noah has a brief moment of light here. Xiao Hu goes in with the Emperor's Divide. Noah has red-white, great guns for the fight. Oscar Ridden getting forward, but Chris has the stopwatch, and Light has his man again. Ace in the hole, a dagger through the heart of Fnatic. They've been doubted, they've been denied, and they've been discarded. But Weibo smoke the doubters.
A clean game 3 from Weibo. They knew exactly how to deal with Fnatic's comfort. They saw that Aphelios lock in, and they respond with Xiao Hu's Azir and Light's Caitlyn. 2 incredible performances. Weibo with the better team fighting, and another LPL team will join their brothers in the quarterfinals.